Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of Wisdom Cafe Live. And my name is Bob Choat. I'm known as a Transformational Grandmaster. And my beautiful, awesome co host is Dr. Sofie Nubani, the queen of laughter and wisdom and so much more. Sofie, it's been a long time since our last episode, hasn't it?
Yes, it was only
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's only yesterday. Yeah, of course.
Hello, hello.
So, how's the weather doing now in Orlando?
Well, between yesterday and today I would say it's a little bit more humid and it rained a little bit more. But you know what? It's beautiful. All different temperatures make you kind of connect in a different way and
Mhm.
respond, right? So it's all good.
Yeah, out here on the West Coast, because I'm near Los Angeles, it's bright and sunny. And our guest today, who's a founder of Live Masters TV, and he's seeking to
Mhm.
make an impact in his world, and he already has, helping to transform the lives of many, including especially his guests that he's had on. So I am so happy to welcome the Mike Chavez. So, Mike.
Uh,
Ooh. Watch out. I like that name. Mike Chavez, let me tell you. Welcome on my end as well. And it's such a pleasure and honor to have you visit with us finally. We've been working on this for a while. Busy schedule Mr. Mikey has, helping many people all around, traveling, doing meetings, and all the good stuff that comes with service when we have bigger responsibility. And so I have to say thank you for your time. And I know you made it from the airport right home to us. So this is really cool. We're happy we're able to make the time work as well. So welcome to Wisdom Cafe, Meet the Expert Show. And we are so thrilled to hear from you and to have our audience and our group members learn the back little secrets, insiders of your success story. So thank you again for being on our show. Thank you, Mikey.
well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It,
Definitely.
it's
Well,
amazing, as we found out, that you just got off a flight not long ago and
Uh-huh.
made that rush to get home, get here, and boom, here you are. I mean, Sophie was telling me you just was walking in the door when I was making the links and putting them up so you can come on the
yes.
show.
Yeah, I had a lot going on. Just came back from Montana, so I was there for a week, working on exciting projects, helping people with their health and their wealth, and just doing some pretty amazing things. And it all started with the live video journey I started in January 31st, 2017. So I could be more excited to be here and share that story with you guys tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic, and we would love to hear all about that journey. And I know that you were raised, or you hailed from Downey here
Hmm.
in, yeah. So that's not far from the Los Angeles area. So it's within that the geographical area,
Hmm.
and then now you're in Las Vegas. So you kind of went
Yeah, I
east.
was. I'm a California boy. I was born and raised in California. I lived there my whole life until August of 2018. I moved out here to Las Vegas with my family, and I've been here for the last 2 years. So I love growing up in California. I got to grow up on the beaches down in Orange County eventually as a teenager. And then as a young adult, I stayed down in that area. And then, like I said, until later in life, that's when I ended up moving out of California through life circumstances. The cost of living in California at the time of where we needed a place to live, it got too expensive where we're living, and that's why we ended up we landed in Las Vegas. We love Las Vegas. It's a great place to raise a family actually, because we're quite a ways away from the Strip, and you'd never know we're in Las Vegas, so it's pretty
Which
cool here.
part of Vegas are you in? Because I used to live uh, out. Gosh, it was a little ways from the Strip. Now, gosh, and I lived there a whole year. I had a show out there and everything. Uh, but
And
yeah,
we
it was.
live. It's called Summerlin. It's an area called Summerlin.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
exactly where Summerlin's at. Yep, yep.
yeah. It's a beautiful area. Yeah. So we've been out here for the last couple of years, but between being in Las Vegas and being in California is where a lot of my life journey videos started on Facebook. So
Mhm.
it's been great. I love living in Las Vegas because I connect with a lot of my Facebook friends, and everybody comes to Vegas, so I get to meet a lot of them actually here. They come to my house, and I actually get to meet people. It's incredible.
Yeah,
That is. The last time we were in Vegas for the premiere of Becoming the Keys, and it was just like literally for the 2 days of the full event, day and night, and traveled right back to Orlando. Bob was in California. So we know that we're bound to meet soon, whether you're coming to visit Magical Disney World with your family or we're going to somehow do that.
Oh yeah, I mean I take my social media very serious. The relationships that and connections with people, because they do become real relationships, and you end up meeting people in person, and it's truly amazing.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, Mikey, I know that I call him Mikey just because he's like my brother. So, sorry, guys. You have an extra sister, right?
But no, that's why I was just going to tell you. That's what everybody in my family calls me, Mikey. So
See?
there you go.
You look like a.
Yeah.
My nickname as a little kid was Mikey No, because it was just Mikey No, Mikey No, Mikey No. That was my nickname.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We know more about you now.
I was a rambunctious child for sure.
So I was going to ask, I know that you had started with the Live Masters TV by starting just to do videos. And how was the start for you? What really inspired you and got you to this commitment? Because you're still doing that every single day from the time you started. But not only that, you have inspired many people to walk into their confidence and break the fear of camera into your groups and into your teachings. And I think that is amazing, because in this century content alone is not enough without video, and you have helped so many people to break the ice between them and the camera, and providing a platform that you assist and you do the question of the day and you get them engaged and involved. And I was watching your growth throughout the past year or so more often. And I'm like, wow, look at your engagement. Look at the people popping in. Look at how many people are so thirsty for learning this. So what was your main inspiration?
Oh, good Lord. In the beginning, it was something that it isn't today. Along the way in your journey, it changes, right? So in the beginning, I got hurt and I couldn't work, and I was stuck at home. I had my Facebook account. I have a young family, and I was trying to figure out a way to support my family. Now, at the time, my wife and I had a home-based business that we were promoting. And at the time, my Facebook account, I only had like 60 friends, and these were people that I actually knew, right? Family and friends. And this product that we had, we would be able to go into, do events and booths and stuff like that at the fairs and stuff like that. And then people started asking us if we had something for weight loss, and it didn't have anything to do with weight loss, what we're doing. So one day I was on Facebook and I saw some lady advertising some weight loss product, and I engaged with her on her post, and she started messaging me. And after she did that, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, this lady's got this product, and these people are asking us for some weight loss stuff when we do this. I said, at least let's talk to her to see what she does. So we talked to her, and then this was my first exposure to marketing or doing a business online. So 3.5 years ago, or 4 years ago, I didn't really, in 2016, I didn't know anything about branding or video or any of this stuff. So we get on the phone with her, and she tells us all you have to do is, get this picture that you saw and put it in like 300 or 400 different Facebook groups. Just go get in all these groups.
Wait,
And then
wait,
people,
wait. 300 to 400 only?
yeah,
That's all. Not 30 to 40? 3 to
no,
400.
put a zero on the end of the 30 to 40. Yeah. So this is a really good example of you don't know what you don't know, right? And so at the time I didn't know what I didn't know, and to me it made sense because it piqued my interest how she attracted me to what she was doing. Well, I did that. I got in all these groups, and I had zero success with doing that. That way, obviously, we know that just spamming people in Facebook groups with canned messages in Facebook Messenger, it just doesn't work. And I got into a lot of hot water with Facebook. They put me in Facebook jail, and they restricted my account. It got so bad I had to. Yeah, it was really bad. I was a really bad spammer. And so eventually I figured out that wasn't the way to do things online. So I was online every day, and because I got in so many groups, I started seeing what people were doing to network properly and adding value and teaching people things and getting to know people before they just tried to make a connection with them about a business or product. So because I got in all the groups, I found one group that was starting to do Facebook Lives about 6 months after they came out. So remember, this is about 3.5 years ago, about 6 months after Facebook Lives had come out. And they were talking about the right way to network online and the right way to show up and branding. This was all Chinese to me. I didn't understand it at all. And I said, okay, well, I started to know what I didn't know by watching them. And then one day they decided to do a video challenge. And this is kind of where the videos come into play. They told us to go live on our personal page for 90 days. And we had to talk about things we were self-aware about. And I was like, okay, I didn't even know what self-awareness was at the time. And so I had to look at my life and figure out what I was going to do. I saw the future of social media. I saw the future of video. I really did see where this was going, these platforms were going. And I said, well, what do I have to lose? So January 31st, 2017, I did my first live video, and I've gone live every day since. And so between
let's go back. What was the date since you started?
January 31st, 2017.
Look how many days. Every single day I would see Mikey. Anytime you go to his page, every day he made a commitment to show up and to provide a message that either stimulates and provoke your thoughts and or deliver a content of something that is important that has been happening that he's bringing awareness to. And he's been dedicated since that time. And I remember I could witness the transformation and growth because I was, evaluating, because you learn too when you see a personal transformation, and it really inspires a lot of other people because you wanted to really learn how to do this and master it to the T by committing your time and effort and dedication till you got it to a T, where now people are asking you, the expert, how do I do this? And, I see many people engaging in your, lives where they're asking these questions and, you redirect them to where they need to go. And it's a beautiful, really beautiful growth to see and witness. So I'm happy you're sharing that with everyone that maybe is at the spot you were before, have the talent, have things to offer, but maybe are a little bit nervous to be behind the camera consistently or often. And, you had the courage to go there and do it. Awesome.
I know that you had mentioned that you're kind of an introvert, correct? Maybe?
Well, and so when I first started doing the videos, I loved the attention. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll tell you why. I figured it out because She was talking about my transformation. Sofie was talking about my transformation, and I realized the transformation that I had was I was doing it in front of everybody on my videos, because my content, the things that I talk about, were things that I was struggling with, things that I had questions about, and I was sharing my thoughts and my ideas, and I grew in front of people, and the more that I grew, the more I realized I'm like, the attention doesn't matter to me anymore. I want to me, it's more about um, helping other people and showcasing other people and getting myself out of the way. I've done so many videos alone that now I'm pivoting more to showcase other people that I'm networking with, and introduce them to my audience, like you guys are so graciously doing for me today, introducing me to yours. So I think that one of the biggest transformations I've had is, I'm like, when you're not used to the attention, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming when people are asking you all the time for help, and you're like, and you're still trying to figure out yourself how you did it.
Yes.
Yeah, so in essence, you're getting overloaded from everybody else instead of really like going back into yourself and helping in that way. Because I think it's important for you to do the live videos and to maybe showcase all these other people. Yet when you're overdoing it, you're not taking time for Mikey, for his well-being, and that's one of the things I tell people, that if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't really help other people. And it sounds like you're starting to learn that, correct?
Yeah, and that was part of the thing when I had to figure out in my head. I'm like, okay, well, I'm still trying to take care of myself and figure things out, and people are asking me for help. It's like, how am I supposed to do both, right? And then I realized the simple metaphor that the teacher only need to be one chapter ahead of the student, right? So I'm realizing some of the things that I've learned that other people don't know, and then that's just what I share, and I just basically have to stay in my lane.
Beautiful. That's very nice.
Created courses on teaching people what you know in that journey in order to make it easier for them, because when you have a system in place, and easier for you too.
Yeah, I'm in the process of putting all that together right now as we speak.
Beautiful.
And that quite frankly, that has been one of my limiting beliefs. Thinking, oh, I can't do this course because I've never done it before. I can't do this and I can't do that. And I just figured, if I had to start over, what would I do? And so that's what my course is really going to be about. Is somebody that doesn't know anything, what would you do to start online, start from there, and then just do a series of videos. Because the thing is there's various levels of expertise, right? And like I said, people are going to be able to come in and just skip ahead to wherever they're at, right? But if you do it the right way, people are going to want to watch from the beginning. So I'm excited about that now.
Oh my God, Mikey, you'll be so surprised how many people are you think you're in sixth grade, but they're in kindergarten and they need all the help. So you're not one chapter away. You're like 6 chapters already away, but you don't realize it because of your consistent progress and practice of your craft. That makes you a lot more familiar with the challenges that you're facing, how you were able to fix them, how you collaborated, who you're connected with, and how you are delegating, how you are cooperating, how you are contributing. All of these are experiences that you accumulated through the growth process that you might think you're only a chapter ahead, but that's a chapter ahead maybe from someone who was walking as fast compared to the others. But you have so many that are they're not even close to the book itself, not mind you the chapter. So just remember that, and also keep in mind, I know, Bob, that you have Mind Hack Academy, and there's a lot of online schools that also have an affiliate program where you can put your courses on top of where you have it with them, and now you have another whole area of where your material is accessed to that you didn't have before. And this is why 21st century collaboration has become a very big of important trait for people to progress, provided it is aligned with your purpose and mission and vision, because you can do a lot more and attract more and connect with crowds that you weren't even accessing before with the right collaboration. So that would be also a good area to visit when you are in that area of progress and process. And always remember, we're here for you. Okay.
Yeah, and let me add to that and everything what you just said regarding creating the courses, where you said that you may not have have the level of expertise necessary. The truth is you have exactly the level of expertise needed for your audience. And the reason I say that, if you have too much, if you know so much about this whole thing, there's a thing called the curse of knowledge. The curse of knowledge is where the absolute expert has so much information, so much knowledge that they're so far away from the people that they want to teach that what they think is like nothing, they're going to teach at a higher level, and these people are not going to get it. You know just enough where you can still see where you started and the challenges you went through, yet you're at that level where this has become easy, so you can flow through it. So you can still you teach at that level. You'll be a much better teacher than somebody who's been doing this for 20 to 30 years. Much better. So it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's a very great analogy, Bob. You hit the nail right on the head. But sometimes you can get so far detached from the people that you're trying to reach, but then all of a sudden, then you're lost. Then you got to go back. But I'm constantly looking for ways to step outside my comfort zone, and the videos now, I don't feel uncomfortable doing them anymore. So and I'm going out and traveling and doing live presentations, and it's totally different being in front of a live.
Are you kidding me? You're known as the live master guru. Are you kidding me?
It's a different experience, though. It truly is. Even though this is a form of public speaking, actual public speaking in front of people, where you have the instant feedback, where you can see people's faces and their body language and their gestures and how they're interacting with you, it's a totally different thing. And but I will say this, that there's no way, I wouldn't say there's no way, but I think it would be very difficult for me to be able to go speak publicly in front of people if I hadn't done the videos. And because sometimes I get in a place where I get in the weeds a little bit, and just because of my mind speaking so much on it, just goes into that, and then I find myself and I'm back on the road. So even when I'm talking about speaking publicly, so yeah, I search for words sometimes still, just like anybody else.
Yes,
yeah.
That happens to all of us. I've been speaking for many decades now, and getting used to the streaming versus the way it used to be back in the old days, where we didn't have anything like this. It was all a much different platform. If I go back 30, 40 years ago, and I'm dating myself.
It's easier for me to do the live streams than do a recorded video that I have to have a specific message for. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm more comfortable doing the lives, and I just know I'm out there and I just go and I don't even think about it. But I think when I do the recorded videos, I'm more conscious of trying to be perfect or whatever. And that is a really good thing about the videos. Is I think it's the biggest thing is you don't have to be perfect. And your perceived imperfections, something that you might not think is perfect, might be perceived by somebody else as something perfect and amazing.
Yes, in fact, the way you do your live shows is the way you should be doing your recorded classes or any videos. Don't change at all. Just be yourself, put it out there, because that's what makes you attractive. People are going to gravitate towards that. And I think it's a powerful way to go.
Look at this live coaching that I'm getting from Bob, you guys. I just want you to know that. You see, look, I'm being interviewed, and I'm taking notes.
Well, I'm this old guy that, things happen. Now we're gonna shift where you're gonna start coaching the people that's watching and us as well, because going back to live masters and that part, I know that as you think about it, And as you talked about developing your classes, you do have a process that you go through each day, correct?
Yeah, I do go through a process. I mean, I have a morning routine that I go through that I start my day off with the meditation and some quiet time and personal development. It's always the first part of my day, and then some sort of physical activity. So throughout that process of starting my day, I'm already thinking of things that I want to share, the content that I want to share with people. And if you are learning something new every day and working on yourself and your personal development, you should be able to learn at least one thing a day. And I developed a philosophy that if you learn one thing, you should be able to teach it. And then if you can teach it, then you really learned it because you learned it twice, right? And
Mhm.
so through this process in the morning, I'm really thinking about the rest of my day. I kind of have my day scheduled out. I'm going to ask a question of the day, and then I'm going to do a live video later in the evening on my page. And I try to really just think about, as I'm doing my personal development and as I'm structuring my day, I just really think about what's most impactful for my day that I need to accomplish a goal or some sort of result that I want. And that's usually the video topic or question that I discuss or make content around.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
So what is your vision for Life Masters? And do you what are some challenges that you think that people are facing? And what is the solution through your vision that you see that can help?
I think some of the challenges that people have we're doing videos are limiting beliefs about what other people think when they do videos. And I had the same things. I was a middle-aged guy 3.5 years ago. I'm still a middle-aged guy, but middle-aged guy, young family, who's going to care about what I have to say? And without the personal development that I didn't have, I just, I realized that I needed to work on myself. And I know there's a lot of people in situations right now that are looking and they're seeking ways to work on themselves. And I share the philosophy of doing these videos. I think because it's worked for me, I might be biased, that it's the best personal development that you can do because it's something that you're taking action on, right? You're actually doing it. And if you're uncomfortable doing it, then we know that your brain is going to have to make some new neurotransmitters, and that's where the pain and the growth comes in, right? You're literally growing. And when you do it consistently and persistently over an extended period of time, just like anything else that you do with passion, you develop skills that people will say, wow, you're a natural. Wow, you just like whatever. But I say, okay, well, did you see my first video? It was 2 minutes. I think I looked at the camera for 3 seconds. So,
Yes.
I mean, so to answer your question, I think a lot of people, I just go back to what my limiting beliefs were and what my problems were. It was, are people going to care about what I think, or what are people going to think about what I have to say? But here's the thing, you got to stand for something or you're going to fall for everything. People will respect you if you stand for something, even if they don't agree with you, if you stand for something in a respectful way, right? You have your beliefs, and then because people don't respect people that waver, that are lukewarm, that can't make decisions. And so, like I said, even and that's really, I think, difficult for people to do online because of fear of judgment. If you support a certain political party and you're vocal about it, it could be controversial, and some people, and that is one thing that I don't talk about religion or politics on any of my videos because it just does.
Smart man.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, that is smart. I think, whether those two subjects, I think it all comes down to, and what you've gone through is what every one of us that is watching this should really understand. And that's our own personal growth. And The fact that you use Facebook Live and really expressing your beliefs at the time, your learnings, especially you're teaching something that you learned earlier, and you're expressing that out. You're helping yourself to grow. Number one. Number two, you're helping those that watch grow. And number three, those people are going to influence other people around them to grow as well. So every time that you get on there, you're helping multiple people, even people that don't even watch, to grow. So that's a powerful influence.
Yes. And he has.
Yep.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of his little lives in different groups because he's so engaged and massive on Facebook, literally. And the way he built his momentum and the way he had grown his audience authentically and genuinely, and that's why they're so engaged in there. And they're, he'll do, and there's so many questions and people are wanting to know, because he had put himself at a level where they're comfortable and they can see eye to eye, where they can develop with him because they find it easy, because he's always there to support, and he's offering his service and his time and his focus. And and that allows him many amazing relationships that he has developed through the past few months and years as well, where he's at today on a bigger scale, where he has to make a lot of decisions that are important, that are going to affect a lot of people who look up and trust him. And so he's very more accountable of all that, on top of the fact that he's teaching. Now he also, is a leader in his area, which makes him a true, genuine, expert. So that's awesome.
He is. Yep, absolutely. Live masters, and I'm going to add growth masters as well.
Yeah, there you go.
It is toast. Well, well, there's a story behind how Live Masters got its name that directly correlates with Toastmasters. So, what happened was I learned that you need to if people are asking you questions, it's good to build a Facebook community. So I started building a Facebook community. I had a different name for it. It was called Chavez Live 360, and I didn't even know what to name my Facebook group, so I just named it something weird. But somebody mentioned to me a couple of years ago about Toastmasters. They saw me doing videos. They said, hey, you should go check out Toastmasters. It may help you with speaking on your videos and everything. I said, oh, that sounds great. So I went down, I checked it out, and I was in Toastmasters for about 6 or 7 months before I moved. But before I moved, I did Toastmasters every Monday. And every Monday in my group Live Master, or every Monday through Friday in Live Masters, I ask a question of the day. And I try not to be redundant. I try to think of different relevant topics. And I was kind of telling you about my morning routine, about how I come up with these questions. So one day I was thinking about, what is the question of the day going to be? I was trying to think. Nothing was coming to me. And I started to have a conversation with God. And I said, God, just give me something here to work with that can bless some people. Nothing. I started getting frustrated. And all of a sudden I said, you know what? I trust you. You're going to give it to me. So I just left it alone. I get the kids together. I start driving the kids to school. And when you're driving, you leave your stuff. You leave your mind a little bit. And you start thinking about your day. Well, I started thinking about my day. That was a Monday. Started thinking about Toastmasters. I started thinking about how they have the feature speakers. I started thinking about how they have table topics, and everybody's involved. And what a great experience, I'm thinking to myself. And then all of a sudden I said, wouldn't that be great to do something like that online? And then all of a sudden, Live Masters popped into my head. And I said, that's it, Live Masters. And then I went home that day, changed the name to Live Masters. It's been the same. And then within a month, I had a logo. Never designed a logo. I had everything all set up for it. So interesting story.
And I think we lost Sofie for a bit there.
Yeah, it looks. She'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, I know that she had issues with maybe her phone wasn't charged or something, but those things happen. Yeah, that's really awesome, because I had been involved in Toastmasters years ago, and I was president of the Toastmasters Club in Las Vegas when I was there.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was Summerlin that I lived in, by the way.
Okay, that's a beautiful area.
Yep. Yeah. Back west of Las Vegas going out.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful area. It looks like she's coming back in now.
There she is.
All this Wi-Fi issues, I'm telling you.
Yep. Yeah. So that story is really awesome, and the birth of Live Masters, because you allowed your subconscious mind to take over and allow that to spring up.
Yeah.
And since the creation of Live Masters, and here you are on a regular basis, on a regular basis, would you say that consistency was really part of your success?
Well, yeah, I think it's the total base of it. Without it, I wouldn't have any of it at all. I mean, because I didn't know how to brand myself. I didn't know how to stick out in all the noise and the traffic online, right? Like in the newsfeed. And I literally just started going live every day. And over time, I look back and I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody just started, hey, you're the guy that goes live every day. Hey, you're that guy. You're that guy. And then I said, okay, all right, I guess I'll just keep going. I guess I'll be the guy that goes live every day and not stop. Like, why do I have to stop? Why do I have to stop? You know, it's like, I tell you why. One of the reasons why I didn't want to stop, I never want to stop, is because I'm afraid if I do, I won't be able to restart again. So I just kept going.
Well, it's become a habit, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a habit.
Yeah,
100%.
it's a good habit.
It is a good habit, you know, and I share with people. I can say I've done thousands of videos, and not all of them are something to write to mom about. But you know, out of the 1,000 or so, I could probably say there's at least maybe 5 to 10 that I'll put up against anybody in the world. I can say that.
Am I hearing feedback only, or are you hearing any feedback?
Yes, I think it's coming from your end.
I mean, even when I'm muted,
It's gone now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's from your end. It's probably your Wi-Fi, Sofie. Can you hear us, Sofie?
yes, I can. I was just muting myself to test it, but it still did the same noise. And I'm wearing also headphones, and it's still making that noise.
And your voice is coming a little broken. I think it's from your end, your Wi-Fi or something like that. I don't know. But those things happen, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah, that happens. You just got to roll with it.
Got to roll with it. Yes, absolutely.
It happened a lot on the dual lives on Facebook. So,
yeah.
So, Mike, how do you think it is then?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It doesn't have, when you mute your microphone, it goes away though.
Like when we did our live with Live Masters, me and you, it didn't have that at all. And many other lives, it doesn't have it. Because I was interviewed every day almost last week as well. And it's just strange. I just want to make sure that, you know.
Oh, it's coming in. It's coming in a little bit better now. But it's still.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. You're still plugged in your
So
phone.
what is new right now? What is happening right now that is really making you travel and have all this busyness that you're excited about, that you want to share with our audience so that they can tune in to?
Well, the first 2 years of me doing my videos, I still had struggled to figure out how to monetize what I was doing. I didn't have any support in that other business that I had. And in December 2018, I was introduced to my mentor that I've been working with for the last, almost 18 months or so. And we've been working on a project that's been helping people with their health. It's a DNA lifestyle company, and people around the country are really excited about it. And I have teammates that are wanting me to fly in and give presentations. And I was talking about that a minute ago about public speaking, and I had to go to Montana this last week and do several presentations and overviews and one-on-one sit-downs and meetings with people all week. And it was some experience because I'd never done anything like that on the road and didn't work that much. This kid put me to work like he was wearing me out like a cheap suit.
So
I had a great
tell
time.
us about this DNA thing, because I know a lot of people, we hear about it, and I just don't know. You know, like knowing from an expert would be kind of nice. And I know that you've been doing it for a little bit while, where you have a lot of back experience from, like, you know, more information on it. What's the most amazing thing about it?
Well, for me,
Yes.
I have a personal I have a personal experience with it because for me, I've always struggled with my health and meaning taking care of myself, and a lot of it had to do with what was going on up here, right? Making the right kind of decisions to make have a healthy lifestyle. But I did know that both of my grandfathers had passed away of heart disease before the age of 60. So you know, heart disease runs rampant in my family. And when I was introduced to this information, I was able to get my DNA tested, and they test up to 600,000 of your genes, and then they break it down to the 18 most common genes that affect your health that you need to be concerned about. And so when I actually got my DNA report back, and the test came back, and it showed that I had actually inherited some genetic defects from both of my parents that directly correlated to what killed their fathers. And so I was blown away. And you know, the DNA testing, it's not really that groundbreaking and revolutionary, so to speak. But what the difference is, what the project that we're working on is, it takes the DNA report, and then it formulates a customized formula, a supplement, raw plant-based ingredients based on your DNA to support those genetic defects and support your overall wellness. So I looked at that report, and I started building this business. And then the people I was building the business with, they're nutrition experts, fitness experts, nutrigenomics experts, epigenetic experts. And they kind of just took me under the wing, so to speak, and sat me down, had me look at my report, and said, you know, Mike, you really need to make some serious lifestyle choices, not just take this product, but make better lifestyle choices. And I said, yeah, you're right, you know, because, you know, I'm going to be 49 in October. I have 3 young kids, and they're 6, 8, and 10. If I don't make these choices right now to better my health, history is going to repeat itself, and I'm not going to be around to see my kids grow up. So my life has radically and dramatically changed because this amazing product. And then also, of course, we all know it's not just a product, right? It's the air you breathe, what you put on your skin, what you put in your body, but most importantly, you know, the people that are around you and the energy you surround yourself with. So it's been an amazing experience over the last year and a half. I've actually been able to build a business now and take care of my family. And it's all because I just did these videos and showed up as my authentic self. And it enabled me to build relationships with people. And here I am. Now I'm able to I was talking to Bob, I don't know if you were here, about like manifesting. And I was saying how I just got picked up at the airport. And I was telling my friend, I just came in from this flight. I had a meeting, then I had this interview. And I said, well, you bet, Mike, this is what you asked for. This is what you've been manifesting. And I was like, you better be careful what you wish for, because it'll definitely happen.
But that's good. That's good. Taking control of your lifestyle, very, very important. And the fact that you mentioned that you lost both your grandfathers, correct, before the age of 60, because it got me thinking about my kid brother, who 20 years ago, at the age of 39, had his first 7 heart attacks. He's still alive. He has a defibrillator pacemaker in his heart, and he has like 15% functioning of his heart. And my father passed away in 1983, and from complications of a stroke. And yeah, so I can concur. Healthy lifestyle is very, very important. And yeah.
It really is, and the biggest shift really with what this is all about is customization based. I mean, because you're even though you have heart disease and stuff in your family, it sounds like, and then so I don't know, Sofie has something that's common in her family. We're all going to need to address different health concerns because she's way more beautiful than both of us combined. We already know that. We're all so different. Why would we and would we need to concern and address other things? Why would we be taking the same sort of supplements? You know,
It's
it
not
just
one
makes sense.
size fit all. That's so
I
true.
know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's true once we really understand that the levels of magnesium or calcium or low deficiency of serotonin or vitamin D or so. Everybody has a different need. So when people are just taking a full thing that is regular to everyone, they might be saturated in one area and still so deficient in minerals, and now they're still not feeling well. So I really believe that's that part is so important for people to realize, and not to just by conditioning thinking that they're going to go there and get supplements. Half of them are made in places that you don't even know where they're made, so many fillers in them, and they're not really doing squat. In fact, they're damaging your liver more than helping you feel better. And it's really important that we get educated and find the right resources and quality of the source that we are, anything that we're putting into any of our bodies, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual. What source are we getting in and from where? So that I totally agree, Mike, about.
More specifically to that, because you could be taking something that you think is good for you, but it could be toxic, and you don't know it. Or you could be taking something and not be getting enough, and you could be malnourished, right? There's one of the women that took this DNA test, and they test for a certain type of B12 absorption. There's two different types of ways that your body assimilates, folates, B12. I'm not really 100% with the science, but I know there's a certain way. If you get this genetic defect, you should not have a certain type of B12 vitamin. Well, she didn't know that, and for years she was taking the wrong type of B12. She got tested. She said, "Oh wow." She stopped taking the other stuff. She got on the right B12. Her brain fog cleared up. Her inflammation went down. Just a lot of different things happened for her, and she's felt amazing. So
I can relate to that specifically, because when I went years ago, and I'm talking, like at least 7 years ago, to do my, my blood work through a homeopathic, and I was not absorbing the B12 that I was always taking extra, because we're told, especially in my background, like B12 is so important. And guess what? I could only do B12, methylethys B12, for me to absorb it all together. So all these years I was buying a supplement that I wasn't even digesting naturally into my body. And I didn't know that till I, was doing a test. So I totally understand. And that's only in one area. But imagine in many other areas, when you break it down to on a DNA level, like how that would be more specific to the person and detailed. I like when you once represented in your bottle. He has his name on it.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Custom made.
I got it right here. Look, it even has it doesn't have an expiration date. It has a born date.
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
So this was manufactured on July the 17th, and I got it on the July the 20th. So yeah. Pretty crazy.
I'm glad that, because you mentioned epigenetics, because I did my dissertation on stress and epigenetics, and did in-depth study in that in order to write a proper dissertation, and I'm glad that seeing places starting to use that a lot more and being talked about, because the truth is we have our genetic component, but we also have our epigenetic component. And what have you looked into or did a little bit of study into epigenetics?
Yeah, the epigenetics is how your lifestyle affects your genes that are actionable genes that you can take action on and take care of. So, like I was saying, your environment, what you eat and all that other stuff, it affects your genes that are actionable. I know a lot of it, and a lot of it has to do with your mind, and that's why people that say this person, the doctor said this person's never going to make it, but they believe they're going to live, and everybody prays for this person, and they make it. It's
Yep.
Pretty incredible stuff.
what we project. And so
Yeah.
being healthy will make your brain more clear to
Yep.
think better and more pure, and not have all this, fogginess of the thought, even not just the recall and the memory, but the quality of thinking. And you can really sense when you are on that path that you're able to even have your concentration on what you are doing a lot better than when you're not. And that includes, what you eat, like just go on junk food for a long periods of time, a long period of time. It's not going to result in clarity of thought with time. It's going to affect in different ways somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on Live Masters, I know you have a lot of experts. Have you had experts in the area of health?
A couple few. I'm going to start having some more come on my page and interview them. Yeah, there's quite a few people that I'm going to start bringing on to educate my audience a little bit more about what I'm doing. I was a little bit gun shy about talking about my business too much on social media, and it's a fine line of educating people without doing it. And the only reason why I think is because of my past when I got started. And oh boy, Bob and you guys, you wouldn't imagine the messages that people were sending me about because of all that stuff, the activity that I was doing the wrong way. So yeah, I'm gonna have some experts for sure come on. Yeah, I've interviewed a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen you interview some amazing people and your lives, and they're like very, very educated in their field. And I mean, I was listening to words that I was like not familiar with, and I was like, well, I guess that is more into the medical area that I don't understand, but not medical, but science. And Bob, you probably would get it faster in that area. But I actually saw a few of yours that you had gotten. It was amazing, like the interaction and the insights they shared, and it made sense as well. Where the way they explained it was.
Yeah, we do a lot of overviews. I do a lot of overviews and stuff like that, but I don't do that. I do them in a private group. So I invite people to them more than just do them on my page. But yeah, I'm going to, though, interview more experts because I know quite a few. Yeah, I'll make sure that you guys see that. I'll tag you in the comments so you guys don't miss that.
Oh, good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot that Sofie knows. We probably know a few that we talked to, like there's Dr. David and Dr. Lori and Nelson and others, right, Sofie?
Absolutely. I mean, this is our circle, believe it or not. It is really. It's authors, speakers, doctors, and a lot of people who are so committed to their industry. And what's so beautiful about them is that even though that each of them might be offering something similar, they tend to teamwork and contribute above the mentality of competition, but the mentality of human service. And that's what makes them so beautiful and unique to their approach. And this is what it's all about. When you really look at it being in service to humanity unconditionally, then you take all the titles out, you take all the personal interest out, and you just look at how can we as a community make the change and make this change for our younger ones, to not have it so difficult, because they don't deserve that, and we should do better for them and ourselves and as well. So when we are in our senior years, that all these little seeds that we've been planting with love, dedication, and contribution will really pay off, that you will start tasting the quality of your labor, and you would look back, even if it was the last day of your life, with a smile, knowing that you can transition, that you made an effort, you made a difference, and you participated in the wellness of humanity, not destruction of it. And that's for those who are aware. It's kind of like not a duty, but it's a calling for them, you see. So we're here for you, Mikey.
Yeah, there's no competition and collaboration, and that's what I've learned. It's all about collaborating with others and seeing how you could be the service of other people, and don't have any expectations, and you'll be good.
And
Yes.
you do well at that. It's so nice having you on our show, Mike. And I know that our time is close to end, but Bob, is there anything you want to ask him before
Yeah,
we
I
ask
know
him his
that.
favorite quote?
Yeah. So just if you could give people that want to get started on uh, on doing live videos, what would be the 3 tips that you would suggest? The top 3 tips.
I would say the first tip is figure out why you want to do them, and really just ask yourself, why do you want to do this? Because it's not for everybody. And if you figure out why you want to do it, then take that why and try to figure out how you can craft a message around that. And then the last tip I would say is take those first 2 things and just be yourself. Don't be afraid to say and like, and don't make it perfect. Like the great Zig Ziglar said. See, I even pronounced his name wrong. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
I love that. I love
Good. Very good. I so love it because I remember when I first did my first ever interview, I did not even notice that the amount of knows that were in my conversation till my mentor addressed it. And then I started paying attention. I'm like, damn, how many times did I say,
Yeah. Yes, but here's the thing.
It makes it worse, though.
It makes it worse. So what happened was that her reticular activating system got operated at that time. It kicked on, just focused on that. The truth is, nobody really notices.
Where is that video taken out of social media? I'm just trying. How many times did I have to say that same word? Gazillions. But the good thing is, and this is why it's so beautiful to be surrounded by amazing inner circle, because when this was brought to my attention, I kid you not, I did not notice it, because you just talking and you just don't realize it, even when I heard the interview. But when I was told, do you realize how many times you said, I was like, seriously? Then I started concentrating on it. And I then said, oh my goodness, it was repeated so often. Every time I had to transition, it's almost giving me permission that, can I still talk? Is this still my time? Or are you asking me another question? So I was there. So I love your advice. I think that was beautiful and great. And it reminded me where I was too when I first ever started.
Well, if you're talking about what you're passionate about, it's just going to flow off your tongue like you're sitting down talking to an old friend.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for those amazing tips. I really feel that it is really such a blessing. And I pray that anyone that's listening is really going to get them to use or help somebody else that might need to be reminded of that, or maybe get in touch with Mike himself and help them to progress into their, journey of making their own video and being part of the Live Masters TV community, and being able to connect with like-minded people who are interested in that area of growth. And this way it becomes easier. It won't become as, you won't be as nervous or as scared or as concerned, because you have a support and you have feedback on top of that, which is really important. Absolutely. So Mike, is there a quote that you actually like, or you tell an affirmation you live by, that you can share with our audience before we say goodbye?
I don't have anything in particular that, like a certain affirmation or whatever.
Or a
I
philosophy that resonates with you.
Well, when I get stuck or if I don't want to do something, or I'm afraid to do something, I just close my eyes and just imagine where I really want to be, and where I want to be is on the other side of where I don't want to be in that moment. So I take myself out of where I'm at, and I put myself where I want to go, and then take a deep breath. I open my eyes and go do whatever I got to do and talk to whoever I got to talk to. Just do
Well,
it.
you know
And
what?
then
You just gave the best recommendation. Are you kidding me? You gave a process, not a quote.
Yep.
That is amazing.
yeah.
Just do it. Yeah, as my dear friend Art Williams used to say years ago. Yeah, just do it. So, or
Yeah, just do
you
it.
do it, and that's what you've been doing. You've been doing it and 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 doing it every single day for the last 3.5 years. And you're going to keep doing it and 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 doing it. And I think that's one of the secrets to true success is just keep doing it.
Consistency.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Well,
Well,
and his process, Bob, is really very powerful if you think about it. He's doing a future timeline regularly. So
Mhm.
think
Oh, yeah.
about that. And in NLP and neuro linguistic programming, it's something that we actually use as a modality, but we do past and present and future. But what you're able to do is you're able to give yourself something to measure off and something to look forward to, so it doesn't get you stuck emotionally and energetically and be stagnant into something that is of a challenge. And by looking forward and projecting to where you want to go, that's going to increase your stamina and your vitality and your focus and your interest and your excitement. And it's going to redirect your emotions from this one thing that is not working to the vision that's more optimistic to what you want to attract. That is so important. And when people can practice that regularly, and it's part of the way by default they work, that is like a powerful tip that people can follow. And honestly, it's you gave a process, not a quote, which is even amazingly effective than an affirmation. Just you are actually applying a process. So thank you, Mikey. That was wonderful.
I'm addicted to manifestation and visualizing, because when I know you guys have already experienced this in your life, that when you manifest something and then it happens and you realize in that moment that you manifested that moment, it's better than you imagined. And that is addicting to me, at least.
yep.
Becomes a fun journey, right?
Yep. That's why I have a smile like this.
Yes, you're a manifester. There
Yes.
you go. Oh,
Well,
blessings.
Mike, we want to
We're so
thank
happy.
you.
We're so
Yeah,
happy and grateful to have had you on our show. And for those who are going to learn more about you, connect more with you. And I know, Bob, that you probably have all the links shared and
Yeah, so I have Live Masters TV shared already in the description here, so people can go and check that out. And if there's any experts that want to become a guest, I know that they can book themselves there. Also, if people want to hire you to whether speak or coach them in a process that you do, and I know that you're already talking about developing a course, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Just send me a message on Facebook Messenger. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm there. You can reach me, and just reach out to me. I'm a very relational type guy, and I'm working with people now on a one-on-one basis. So I got to get to know people. It works best when you get to know people before you start to work with them to see if it's a fit. So I love hopping on calls with people, seeing where they're at in life, and seeing if I can help them.
So
Yeah,
he's
so-
giving you a shortcut. So go from the website, go direct on Messenger. You'll have his contact information and on the website. But he's giving you a personal access to reach him even closer and further. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so make sure to follow him on Facebook as well. So
And for those who are listening on YouTube and other platforms, they can go to the website, and from there, his contact information is there. And then you can also reach him as well from that platform.
You got it.
Yay.
Okay, Mike, thank you for being here. It was a wonderful you, and just keep being that awesome person that you are, and getting out there and continuing making a difference,
Amen.
one live show at a time into
That's right.
yes.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Everybody,
Blessings.
thank you for
Thank
tuning
you.
in. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.